Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Dr. Ahmad Al-Hassiny here from the Institute of Digital Dentistry in New Zealand. And as with all IDS years, this has been a busy year for intraoral scanner releases. We've already seen the launch of two new scanners, this being the Trios 6 and the Allied Star sensor. And now we have the third major release of the year, the brand new DEXIS Imprevo scanner, which stands for Impression Evolution. It's been quite a wait for DEXIS fans. Their previous flagship scanner was called the Carestream Dental IS3800W, which was released way back in 2021 and later acquired by DEXIS. So after 4 years, we finally have the latest scanner from DEXIS. And this is a scanner that is the first one solely designed, developed, and released by DEXIS themselves, not Carestream Dental anymore since the acquisition. I've been very lucky here in New Zealand at the IDD studio, as I have one of the few units in the world before its launch to show you it, discuss its features, and review it. So let's get into it. Let's unbox the DEXIS Imprevo, a scanner that makes a promise to revolutionize the market with some interesting technology they say we haven't seen before. So this is the box the DEXIS Imprevo comes in. And what is apparent is this packaging looks a lot more premium. In fact, it reminds me a lot of the Trios packaging, even in the inside of it, which you will see soon. So if we open this up, what we see here on the box is, welcome to the DEXIS family, cute message. And here we have a piece of paper that is covering the components that says iOS Solutions, start your iOS tour. Once again, a nice extra touch here and a lot of effort being put by scanner companies in their packaging. On the back of this piece of paper, what you're going to see is we have the quick start guide, and this just shows you that it is a wireless scanner, how to put it all together, how to attach the wireless dongle, and how to start the scanner and download the software. So let me put this to the side. Now we have all the compartments that come with the DEXIS Imprevo. And there's 8 compartments in total. So first, let's just jump into the scanner itself and open this up. So this is the first look at the DEXIS Imprevo. And I have to say, it looks quite modern. It looks definitely a lot more futuristic than previous scanners. Sleek new design, but it shares the same design language as the previous DEXIS scanners. I am told the scanner weighs 297 grams, which interestingly is more than the previous 3800W at 240 grams. And I have them both here actually. This is the difference. This is the 3800W and this is the Imprevo. I have to say though, the Imprevo is in line with a lot of other wireless scanners currently on the market, such as the Trios 5, the Trios 6, and Meta i700 wireless, ARL Scan 3 wireless, etc. in terms of weight. But it has to be said, it's not the most lightweight scanner on the market. Around 300 grams for a wireless scanner is not bad, however. The company does say that this has a 15% slimmer design compared to the previous 3800W. And you can see that here. This is definitely a slimmer scanner, even though it is a bit heavier. And the reason why it's heavier is because of the extra components inside of this new scanner. Induction charging, new chips, LEDs for the light source, and a bunch of other things. So on the scanner, we have 2 rubber covers, one here for the scanner tip, which protects the scanner when a scanner tip is not attached, and one back here for the battery. And so this is obviously a wireless scanner. There are also 2 scanner buttons, one on the top to start and stop the scanning process, and we have an additional scanner button at the bottom, which is the mode button. And this is used for navigating through the workflow without having to touch a laptop. We also have this dynamic LED ring around the scanner that lights up different colors depending on the status of the scanner. It's a nice touch and becoming more of a market norm. The last thing we have is the DEXIS logo on the side, and overall I have to say this definitely looks a lot more premium, especially with this matte style finishing. Alright, so next let's get a scanner tip out. in this compartment down here, we have the scanner tips. And so this compartment has 2 batteries and 3 scanner tips. The scanner tips are in a bit of plastic here. And interestingly, all the scanner tips included look the same size. Let me just open these up so we can get one onto the scanner. And yep, these are all the same size. And this is interesting because it seems the industry is moving away from smaller sized or pediatric tips being included in the box. So with the Imprevo, we have one size, a universal scanner tip, which has a field of view of 16 by 14 millimeters. The company also seems to have moved away from their multiple orientation tips. These came with the previous 3800W called the posterior tip and side tip. And how these other tips work is they clipped in different orientations. So this is all gone. You just get one tip size and one shape with the Imprevo. And it clicks in simply like that. Now, a couple of things about these scanner tips. The company says they can withstand up to 160 autoclave cycles, and they cost approximately 329 USD for a pack of 5. In other words, 66 USD or thereabouts per tip, and that means 40 cents per patient based on the autoclave cycles. Then we have the batteries. So with the batteries, we get 2 in the box, and here are the Imprevo batteries. These simply just slide in the back just like that. No more locking mechanism like the 3800W. These batteries connect to the Imprevo magnetically. And I think this is a nice quality of life benefit. It makes it a lot easier to just pull off and put in batteries if you need to replace them. But they are pretty tight in there. You saw how hard I had to pull these batteries out. Each battery costs around 105 USD. And so the next question is, how do we charge these? Well, the company actually gives you 2 options now. You have a separate battery charger, and you can also charge it through induction charging. So let me get the separate battery charger out. This is what it looks like, and you can plug this into the wall and it will charge 2 batteries. This is actually a very small battery charger. I quite like it, super streamlined. And you know, some of these battery chargers that come with these scanners are actually quite bulky. So this will charge 2 batteries. But now there is also an induction charger in the scanning base, which is really interesting. So this is the scanner base that you get with the Imprevo. And what you can see is that it has a power cable port. So you can plug this into the wall and it will charge your batteries while the scanner is in here and not in use. So this is the DEXIS Imprevo, and it will simply sit in the scanner base just like that. And what else you can see is that there are some LEDs in the scanner base, and this will show you charging status. The company says that the batteries fully charge in around 2 hours, either using the scanner base or separate battery charger. And with this new base that uses induction charging, it does allow you to minimize some cables, which I think is a nice touch. So you're not having to remove the batteries and put them in a separate charger. Once the scanner battery is fully charged, the company says you can scan continuously for around 1 hour or more on a single charge. And so that's basically the scanner. What else do we have in here? Well, we have a few more compartments. We obviously have some compartments with cabling, and you get a ton of international adapters with these cables. And so this is one wire, and this is another wire. So one wire is for the scanner base, and one wire is for the separate battery charger if you want to use it. So what else do we get with the DEXIS Imprevo? Up here we have a wall mount and screws, and this is pretty self-explanatory. You use this in conjunction with the scanner base, and this is if you want to wall mount your scanner. The other interesting thing this is used for is to attach to the Voyager cart. You may be wondering, what is a Voyager cart? Well, it is the DEXIS cart solution. And I have to say, it is one of the nicest scanner carts by any iOS company on the market right now. So we get a wall mount. Lastly, we must have a TP-Link adapter here, or a Wi-Fi adapter. And it is up here in the top middle compartment. We get a wrist strap and the TP-Link adapter. So as with all wireless scanners on the market right now, they use an adapter. This is how the scanner is going to talk to your laptop or the onboard computer on the cart. And I have to say, this one does look a little bit more fancy. I don't know if it's faster, but it looks a little bit more premium than the usual model of TP-Link adapter included with some intraoral scanners that we've seen on the market. And as I mentioned, a wrist strap. These were popular for a while on the market, and then we kind of saw them phased out. DEXIS obviously sees a benefit in adding this. You can attach it to your scanner and it will prevent you dropping it. So that is basically everything you get with the DEXIS Imprevo. Interestingly, no color calibration unit like previous DEXIS scanners, and in fact no calibration unit at all. So this is a calibration-free scanner. Overall, it's clear that DEXIS has really stepped up their game with this release. I have to say the build quality looks excellent, the finishing is nice, and you can immediately feel the slimmer profile compared to the more bulky previous scanner. This matte finish is also kind of nice to hold, so there's something. The induction charging station on the scanner base is a nice touch. We saw some scanners do that, but what's really interesting to me about this scanner is what the company is claiming they have done with the GPU processing technology. They say this is the first scanner to utilize the GPU parallel processing power of your computer to help improve scanning, rather than everything being done by the CPU. I don't know about this, I'll have to test it, but if it delivers on its promises of faster processing and more detailed scans, this could be another innovation in the intraoral scanner market. There are also some other things the company has improved with this scanner, such as increasing the depth of field to 25 millimeters, which honestly is decent in this market, and they say they use a white true color LED technology for accurate color representation. The company also says that the Imprevo scans at 40 FPS, which is double the rate of the previous DEXIS models, for faster and smoother scanning. So quite a lot of improvements here, and it's honestly nice to see DEXIS back in the game with a new scanner after so long. So the question is, what is the cost of all of this? Well, the DEXIS Imprevo has a recommended retail price of $19,999 USD, or 16,333 euro. A price that is definitely premium, but I would say competitive compared to other new releases like the Trios 6, PrimeScan 2, iTerra Lumina, etc. Oh, and one last thing. If you read my review on the 3800W, you will know there was a number of things I wish they improved on the hardware side of that scanner. But what I want to say, and it's really interesting about DEXIS, is the platform they are building. Scanflow, the scanner software, is one of the most fluid, open, and feature-rich I have seen on this market for all workflows. And DTX Clinic is one of the hidden gems of our industry. That platform has some incredible AI tools, patient management, AI diagnostics, AI CAD for implantology, and it is actually a really cool software. So with this new scanner, perhaps DEXIS can make some waves in the market. So that concludes our unboxing of the DEXIS Imprevo, the latest scanner from DEXIS. I am looking forward to testing this scanner and seeing how the GPU processing power performs in real-world scanning scenarios. And as usual, I will write a full written review available for free for all of you at instituteofdigitaldentistry.com. You can check it out there. If you have any questions about the DEXIS Imprevo, drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. This is Ahmad Al-Hassiny. I'll see you in the next video.